Good day everyone. Welcome back to another video tutorial on biochemistry. Once again, my name is Jordan Hope Julian and I will be your guide to your biochem journey throughout the semester. And today let us talk about on chapter 3 on amino acids. We have learned in the previous video that we talk about the origins of life and how does life really began on Earth. We also tackled about it. And I also introduced to you the four fundamental biomolecules that we will be discussing throughout this biochem course. And that is proteins, nucleic acids, lipids, and carbohydrates, which makes up all the living systems, all make up all the living organisms here on Earth. And today we'll start our discussion on the amino acids. So what is amino acids? So when we talk about amino acids, it's simply a building blocks of a protein. So matawag natin ang isang bagay na protein, dapat it is built up of thousands and millions or even a lot of amino acids. Okay? Um, ang mga amino acids kasi imagine imagine a ball, no? If you imagine a ball that is a protein, no? Kapag i-zoom in mo siya, no, to the point na i-zoom in mo talaga siya, makikita mo na yun is just made up of amino acids, thousands of amino acids. And this is very important kasi nga later on if we discuss the structures of protein, the sequence and the positioning of amino acids really matter on that um, part. So, simply putting it to say that um, amino acids are the building blocks of protein. Yan. Ito siya. So, let's talk about the structures of all amino acids. No? Generally speaking, no, ang amino acid is parang ganito siya, yung structure niya. It is composed of a alpha carbon connected to an amino group and a carboxyl group, a hydrogen group, and an R group. So we will discuss this one by one. Ang alpha carbon, no, nakakonect siya sa isang amino group. So it is a base. And nakakonect din siya sa isang carboxyl group or carboxylic acid na yung other term niya. So, pwede din a carboxyl group. It's the same. So, it is an acid. And nakakonect siya sa hydrogen group. So, you know that hydrogen is a very small molecule, no? And an R group. So, what is this R group represents? As in the handout, see, the R group indicates the different types of functional groups that determines the identity of a specific amino acid. Take note that each amino acid has a unique R group. So, ang R group nito guys indicates the type of amino acids, the functional group that determines the identity of an amino acid. Later on, kapag sinoko na yung mga different amino acids, walang ni isa sa kanila, walang magkaparehong R group. So, different sila kasi para ma-distinguish natin siya, different um, R group or yung functional group nila is nagkakaiba-iba. Common lang sa lahat ng amino acid is meron siyang alpha carbon na nakakonect sa amino group, isang carboxyl group, at isang hydrogen group. Ito lang talaga yung common nila. But the R group, lahat ng amino acids nadi-differ na dito sa R group. Okay? That's, please take note of that. So, let's go first with, now that we know the structures of an amino acids, let's talk about first the stereochemistry of an amino acid and the exemptions. So let's define first the term chiral. So again, going back to your organic chemistry lecture, when we talk about chiral, it refers to the not superimposable mirror image of each other. So ano ba yung mean nito? So imagine your left hand and your right hand. No, put your right hand over your left hand and see nakaka-cover ba ng right hand mo ang left hand mo? Well, the answer is no. So, meaning yan, they are not superimposable. No, not superimposable, meaning hindi niya nakaka-cover. But they are mirror image of each other. So, majority, especially in the 20 common amino acid, Sa 20 common amino acids, 19 of those are chiral except for one, that is what we call glycine. So ano ba tawag kang glycine? It it is achiral. If ano ba yung achiral? Kung ang chiral not superimposable, well, achiral is the opposite of chiral. It is superimposable mirror image of each other. So, later on, I will explain kung bakit achiral ang glycine and it is not chiral. Next is we have the L and D conformation. So, you might be confused, no, especially you are taking, you took already, I am assuming you took already organic chemistry. No, sa organic chemistry nyo ginagamit is ang R and S conformation. But here in biochemistry, we will use the L and D conformation. Relax, it's not that kanang complicated, no. You could also apply the terminologies or the how do you approach the R and S conformation, especially in stereochemistry part, is not that hard when you get to the L and D conformation. So it's not that complicated, okay? Let's just use L and D conformation. So the terminology refers to the Latin word meaning levos, yung L, and dexter means meaning that they are left and right. Okay, take note ha, ang terminology niya is ang L and D refers to the levos and dexter meaning to the left or to the right. And this is the ability to optically active compound to rotate polarized light to the left or to the right. So, to simply illustrate this, let's have my hand. No? Ito. Imagine these are polarized objects. If you pass through a light here, no, yung light niya magpa-pass through sa dalawang polarized light. Pero kung ang isang polarized light, gi-rotate ko ng ganito, this polarized light will also rotate the light that passes through it to the in a way that it will not pass through, no. I-rotate niya to dito yung light in a way that it will not pass through itself, no. So pag pasok niyang light dito, then i-rotate mo man ito na polarized object, so i-rotate din niya yung light niya dito para hindi mag-pass through. So parang ganon, maging wala nang light na makakapasok nito. So yun. Fun fact, you could do this experiment no? If you go to a mga stores that sells sunglasses and they claim that, oh, our sunglasses are polarized. No, you could do that experiment. No? Pag ganituhin mo yung dalawang glasses nila and go let it face to the light. Then, kapag ni-rotate mo yung isa, tingnan mo kung makikita mo pa ba yung light doon sa isang object. If makikita mo pa rin yung light, it's not polarized light. Okay? So, now that you know na yung mga stereochemistry ng amino acid, so in this part, I will now show to you the 20 common amino acids. Bakit sinasabi natin na 20 common amino acids? This is a disclaimer that this is not only the amino acids present here on Earth. Marami pang amino acids that are yet to discover because of our limited resources and technology as of this age, na alam pa lang natin na yung mga 20 common amino itong 20 common amino acids. Actually, marami pang amino acids na hindi pa natin nadidiscover. And mamaya I will show to you also yung mga examples ng uncommon amino acids. Now, going back, sa 20 common amino acids, no, kanina tinakil ko yung R group nila. So as you could see, no, yung naka-highlight na blue, yung mayroong mga highlight na ito yung mga different R groups nila ng amino acids natin. And if you look at it, no, iba-iba sila. And dahil sa pagkakaiba-iba nila, maka-classify natin sila into four. Actually, sa Campbell, kina-classify niya ito in the four part, no? Four classification: non-polar, polar, acid, and base. In reality, it is not only classified into four. You can classify them differently on a variety based on their R group's presence. You will use your organic chemistry learnings. So for now, for this video lecture, we will now follow lang tayo kang Campbell. Nag-classify niya into to four classification, yung non-polar, polar, base, acids, and base. And please take note, also consult with your professors on this kung baka gusto pa niya gusto niya i-classify into aromatic, amphiphilic, so you could just add it on, no? So ito i-classify ko lang to siya into apat based on Campbell. So these are the non-polar group, no? Methionine, leucine, tryptophan, proline, phenylalanine, alanine, isoleucine, valine, and glycine. You can see here that the R group of glycine is just an hydrogen group. Kaya kanina sinabi ko na achiral siya kasi bakit achiral siya? Because the R group is a hydrogen group. Take note that hydrogen is a very small atom. No, kapag may dalawang glycine, no, pinagpatong mo sila ng ganito, yung isang glycine maka-cover talaga yung isang glycine din kasi yung hydrogen group na yung R group nila is napakaliit lang. So they could cover, or they are superimposable mirror image of each other because of the R group. Kaya nga glycine is a chiral. So ganun yun siya. Next is you have the polar uncharged, no? We have the threonine, serine, cysteine, asparagine, tyrosine, and glutamine. So ito yon sila. Also take note the 3-letter abbreviation and the 1-letter abbreviation kasi it's very helpful sa inyo. Kasi sometimes, no, writing the full name could be tedious at some point, especially if you are answering on an exam and you are already on a brink of passing it because of the time. So it's best to also familiarize yourself with the 3-letter abbreviation. Next is we have the acidic group. We have the aspartic acid and the glutamic acid. So very it's very obvious that if you look at the R group, no, acidic talaga siya kaya may carboxylic acid na group. And lastly, we have the basic group. We have the histidine, the lysine, and the arginine. So, question, do we need to memorize it? The answer is yes and no. Kasi if you memorize it, tendency is that you'll be good at memorizing it. But the tendency is, what if binigyan kayo ng professor nyo ng image and you just memorize it without, you do not know how to really distinguish, or no. It's best just to familiarize it. If you want to memorize it, it's better to memorize the structure rather than memorizing the names. Look at the structure and, identify what's the name, and also really it's important here, guys, to have a firm foundation in your organic chemistry because this will help you determine what is the property of that amino acids. Yun, that is a tip for you on this part of biochemistry. So now that we tackled morely on the 20 common amino acids. Let's talk first now on the uncommon amino acids. So kanina sabi ko nga na hindi lang limited into 20 common amino acids or 20 amino acids sa protein, no? Maraming uncommon amino acids that are yet to discover. So one of the examples here is found in Campbell, the hydroxyproline and the hydroxylysine, no? They differ on their parent amino acid kasi mayroong hydroxyl group on their side chain. And these uncommon amino acids, which is the hydroxyproline and the hydroxylysines, are just the derivative of the 20 common amino acids na kinuha ko kanina. Or alam na natin kung saan siya na-derive, di ba? From the word itself, hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine. So, derives siya from proline and lysine. Now, my question noon na, actually, I asked my professor about this. Sabi ko na, is it true that all uncommon amino acids are just the derivative of the common amino acids? And The answer is no. Take note that some uncommon amino acids lang ang sinabi. Some uncommon amino acids are derivative of the common amino acids. Okay? Baka, no, meron ding ibang uncommon amino acids na nag-i-exist na sila kahit noon pa. So, take note it is always wrong or mali kapag sinabi mo na lahat ng uncommon amino acids are all just the derivative of the 20 common amino acids. Okay? Kasi marami pang amino acids na hindi pa natin alam or hindi pa natin na-discover. Maybe in the evolutionary part or maybe sa chapter 1 na we discussed on how did life became from, baka merong mga uncommon amino acids present on those na nawala na throughout the course of evolution. That's to to feed your minds on it. And also take note that amino acids can act as both acids and base kasi if you look at, take note kapag balikan niyo yung structures ng ating amino acid, the alpha carbon is connected to the amino and a carboxyl group. So the amino is a base and the carboxyl is an acid. So tendency, ano ba siya? It is both an acid and a base because meron siyang side chain or it is connected through a acid and a base group. So, yun siya. Yun yung, kaya tinawag siya na it can both act as an acid or a base. So, ito. Something to read on, no? Madali naman to kasi this is very self-explanatory na this part. So, let's go for the peptide bond. So, kanina pa natin sinasabi na building blocks of amino acid, protein is the building blocks of amino acids, no? Amino acids are just building blocks of proteins. Parang ganun. But how does proteins made up of just an amino acid? Well, a protein is made up by um, an amino acid bonding to another amino acid. So ano ba ang tawag sa bond na dalawang amino acids nag-bond together? Ano bang tawag na bond? It is called peptide bonds. Or sometimes, or other references, it's called the dehydration synthesis. Kasi in this part, we will remove water or we will produce water. Remove yung nakasanayan pa na term, no? Remove tayo ng water. Kaya nga, now siyang dehydration synthesis. So, ito siya. The carboxyl group, no, of one amino acids and the amino group of one amino acids will react together. The carboxyl group of, alam natin na ang carboxyl is a negatively charged ion and the amino group is the positively charged. Ano mangyari kapag positive and negative? No, they attract. So, as they attract now, they will produce water. The carboxyl group will, the hydroxyl group of the carboxyl will react to one hydrogen group of the amino. So, kaya nga, nag-produce tayo ng water. And thus, nag-remove tayo ng water dito, no? Or nag-produce tayo ng water, then boom, meron na tayong peptide bonds. Okay? That's something to, it's very easy kasi nag-react lang sila. Then, nag-bond na ang dalawang amino acids. Just take note of it. And also, ano bang tawag natin sa amino kapag marami ng peptide bonds ang nangyayari? Kapag isa, peptide bonds lang. Paano kung marami na? Well, it is called now a polypeptide bond or polypeptide chain. Chain na siya, magkakaroon na siya ng polypeptide chain, which is this. This is an example of a polypeptide chain. Ito. Ito. And the direction on how we name or how we count the peptide chain is from the nth terminal to the C terminal. Okay? Take note of it. Actually, a little story. Back when I was taking biochemistry course, my classmates said or questioned the bakit daw from N to C tayo? Why not C to N? Terminal yung ating pag-count. Ang answer is, it is what it is. Well, a cliche one to answer, but it is actually correct. Kasi, this is the convention that, yung parang, ito na yung nakasanayan natin, no? O maybe, during the, back in the day, or parang, doon pa sa, talagang, back to, on the Stone Age pa, or parang, in the reducing atmosphere, baka, ang counting natin is from, our baka doon ang direction ng pag-count ng other proteins or amino acids is from C to the nth terminal terminal. But now we just stick to the convention that it is from N terminal residue to the C terminal residue. Yun yung direction ng peptide chain natin. So the answer is what it is na talaga. Ito na yun talaga yung convention na ginagamit natin ngayon. um Siguro check with your professor, no? You can ask your professor if ano pa talaga yung other reasons behind it, kasi um that's what kuan yung parang na-remember ko nun, or that's how I learned it, no? Parang ito na talaga yung convention niya. So, do not really overthink on it, this guys. So, yun, parang ito, it's very easy na about the resonance structure, kasi nga this is discussed already on the peptide, on the your organic chemistry courses. Um, that's it for this video, and a tip for you guys before we end. No, please always remember na we look study the amino acids and the structure of it, kasi nga into the next video we will now discuss on chapter 4 the structures of proteins. And for now, that's it, and I hope you learned something today. This is Jordan Hope Pihulian, your chemistry guide. See you.